In Washington, D.C., there is the National War College. In Carlisle, Pennsylvania, there is the U.S. Army National War College. In Newport, Rhode Island, there is the U.S. Naval War College. And in Montgomery, Alabama, there is the U.S. Air War College. All these colleges are supported by funding from the federal government. All these colleges provide graduate-level instruction to senior officers from government departments and agencies. The staff and students at these war colleges are numbered in the thousands. The U.S. Army National War College does original research on ancient battles. Instruction at the college involves the history of tactics for the use of force in battle and on strategies for the engagement of war. This instruction always includes maps of the battlefields and how the terrain affected the deployment of troops and the outcome of the conflict. The terrain is very specific to each battle. For example, the Volga River played an essential part in the Battle of Stalingrad. The cliffs of Omaha Beach had an important role in how the Americans directed their forces on D-Day. The walls of Jerusalem were critical to the Romans and the Jews on that fateful day when Herod's temple was burned. The terrain often defines the battle. Once the battle is over, there is only one place in the world where the history of that battle can be told. So it is with the Battle of Zarahemla in 87 BC. Anyone who has the command responsibility for the possible execution of a battle wants to enlarge his understanding of the history of ancient battles. At the Army War College, military leaders learn the art of war by carefully studying the history of ancient battles. It is on the battlefield where the war is lost or won. It is in the heat of battle where leaders must command and control their forces by completely focusing on the destruction of the opposing side. The object of a battle, regardless of time and place, is to close in and destroy the enemy. The Army War College wants to know how the terrain affects the engagement and outcome of battles. Because the terrain has such an impact on the engagement of forces, the place of conflict gives the name to the battle. All battles have specific dates. Here is a short list of some great battles from history. Omaha Beach, Normandy, 1944. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, 1863. Stalingrad, Russia, 1943. Canning, Italy, 215 BC. Kadesh, Egypt, 1274 BC. Julu, China, 202 BC. Jerusalem, Judea, AD 70. And Zarahemla, Sidon River, 87 BC. Chapter 2 of the book of Alma gives as much information for the Battle of Zarahemla as we have for some of the great battles from ancient history. In this chapter, there are very many details. The battle takes place over a period of 2 days. On the first day, there was a civil war between the opposing sides on the east side of the river Sidon. The engagement on the first day was fierce. There were 12,532 men killed on one side, and on the other side there were 6,560 men killed. The total number of combatants in the Battle of Zarahemla were likely 65,000. The second day involved outside forces coming from the west. An important part of the battle was the crossing of the river Sidon. The city of Zarahemla was on the west side of the river Sidon. All these details are taken from the original records kept by Alma, who was the commander of the Nephite forces. The details are so clear, the terrain is so clear, there is no other place in the world where the Battle of Zarahemla in 87 BC could have taken place than in the place that is identified on the map of the battlefield. Let's now do the census scanning of the cornfields that have in their soils thousands of ancient fires from the ancient city of Zarahemla. Once we have found the evidence of these fires, we will have the evidence for the ancient city. While we are scanning the fields, we will also look at the digital maps to determine the locations of other features, including roads, buildings, and burial grounds. Zarahemla's existence will then become the key that opens the physical truth to the Book of Mormon. No one will any longer need to go deeper and deeper into the jungles of Mesoamerica looking for a lost city that has already been found.